JD talking sports. Rob sent me from Patricia Traina. He sent me that her mock draft has the Giants taking Neighbors out of LSU in the first round. Dane Brugler, who's on Athletic, Rome Odunze to take in the first round. Dane Brugler has them taking Neighbors, the wide receiver. Traina has the Giants taking in the second round at 39 that JJ McCarthy is going to be there. There is no chance in hell that McCarthy is going to be there in the second round. No chance in hell. I don't see it happening. Yeah, I could see them taking the wide receiver. 39 not happening. Brugler has Atlanta actually trading up for Jaden Daniels at number 3. Number 4, everybody has Harrison going. That's to Arizona. And then Brugler has the Vikes trading up to number 7 to get JJ McCarthy. I don't know how she sees like a Will Levis drop to the second round. Or Geno Smith. No, everybody's got him so high that I can't see it going any other way. I just can't. I can't see it going any other way. Yeah, I just don't see it happening at all. Yeah, it would boggle my mind if that actually happened. It would boggle my mind. Yes, boggle my mind. It's just not happening. I just don't see. Yeah, I mean the hype in him, and the combine and everything, and everybody needs a quarterback. And we'll see. Hey, good afternoon there, Podcast Rob. We'll see what happens on that front. Saquon, they say you're not going to tag. Who knows? The kid out of Miami, what's his name? Wilkinson. Let me get the Jets first. Okay, so yeah, that's with the Giants. The Jets, CJ Azuma, who got a 3-year, $24 million, got $15 million guaranteed. So for 2 years, they got 27 catches, 290 yards, 3 touchdowns. Is that worth $15 million for a tight end? I'd say no. Now, they did get Jamal Adams. Jamal Adams is being released. So is Diggs from Seattle, spent 5 years. I don't see that happening. So Podcast Rob says that Barkley and McKinney. I really think McKinney's a guy they could build around, but I guess we're going to see what happens on that front. And Barkley, hey, listen, there's running backs out there. Maybe he needs a change of scenery. And I knew what's his day, a Giant for life. But running backs don't seem to be going in that direction anymore. So we'll see what happens. But is CJ Azuma, you know what? He's coming off knee surgery, counting $11.2 million. In the cap, they clear $5.3 million as a pre-June 1st cut. We'll see how that goes. And this is from Rich Samini. So AFC scout winners, Dom Green, who spent the last 9 years with the Jets as a pure evaluator for the he won award, 2-time winner of the Scout Award. But it seems like almost every team, there's a bunch of teams that have this. And senior regional scout Jonathan, I want to make sure, Stigl, who's a 3-time winner, 10th years. So these guys were around when they took Darnold and Zach Wilson, and they've been through a couple of coaching regimes and everything. These guys have been with the Jets for this long. So they made some good ones. You got Sauce, and you've got some other guys who's, got Quinn Williams. But quarterback is one you don't want to miss out on once, let alone twice. Oh, shit. And Mark Sanchez, let's just say 3 times. You can't keep missing on quarterbacks and expect to do anything. Yes, they got Aaron Rodgers, 4 snaps last year. Enough. 40 years old coming to the season. He is a crapshoot. No idea what he's going to do this coming season. No idea. No clue. We're not sure. I'm not sure. We shall see. But yes, so he is, and Tyler Conklin and Jeremy Ruckert, who I kept hearing, Ruckert was the guy. Ruckert was the guy. You didn't fucking use him. All right? You didn't use him. So, you hear all this talk, and then you go on, and you're like, blah, 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 blah. It's all bullshit. It's all talk. Bullshit runs a marathon. Bullshit, all talk. No action. Talking all the time. Oh, I do this, I do that. And then they don't do, they're a great talker, but they don't follow through, or you don't see anything. All you hear is talk, and they don't come through. The Jets, that's it. The Jets are all bullshit. They are snake charm salesmen. They promise you they'll sell you land in a swamp, but they really do sell you land in a swamp. Well, that doesn't really make sense. Basically, they are bullshit artists. They're stand-up philosophers. They're bullshit artists. They think that they're going to win with a 40-year-old quarterback next year. We don't know what the line's going to be. The offense is stagnant, and you brought back everybody. Your offensive coordinator couldn't get it done with the Broncos, so you bring him over because he's a buddy of your GM, Aaron Rodgers. whose name always escapes me, which it should. His dad was a coach. Now he's a coach. Name always escapes me because he sucks. So, hey, what's up, Josh? He sucks so fucking bad. And you're bringing him back with Robert Saleh, who seemed he was more concerned about the facial hair looking beautiful on his face as opposed to coaching and getting this team to win and taking a mulligan because you lost Rodgers 4 games in, and your scouts and everybody didn't have a backup quarterback, and you thought a redshirt year with Zach Wilson, which never came, and then you have 2 other quarterbacks in Simeon and in Tim Boyle who couldn't play on my high school football team. No, they couldn't. They might throw a couple passes, but I wouldn't count on them. Well, Trevor Simeon wasn't that bad, but Trevor Simeon has gone downhill very fast, and Boyle should never, ever, ever have taken a snap in the NFL. Ever. Ever. And yeah, what's the Jets offensive coordinator again? He's always forget his name. I think McCaster. Something, yeah? Something. Can't remember his name. Nope. Not today. Gonna keep my shit together. Serenity now. Insanity later. Nathaniel Hackett. What a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful guy. Fantastic. Now, Hayden Hurst, he had a concussion last year and a really bad concussion. He didn't come back, so Carolina's going to cut him. 18 catches, $184, touchdown. Now, in 2022 season with the Bengals, 52 for 414 and 2 touchdowns, he was damn good and needed a damn good quarterback. That's a guy I would take a flyer on if I was the Jets, especially the Giants, because we got Mr. Brittle, the wide receiver, the tight end. Who's the Giants tight end? Who is that guy? Oh wait, you don't like Hayden Hurst? Who don't you like? Oh, Hackett, yes. Who's the shit? Let's think of Hayden Hurst. Who's the guy who do you pay all that money to? Who they're bringing back? Who thought about retiring this year? The Giants tight end. What the hell's his name? He's married to Plum on the Las Vegas Aces. Giants tight ends, because I can't remember any names. Tight end Waller, Darren Waller. Bringing him. If Hurst is healthy, which I hope he is. I mean, that concussions are serious shit. Bring him in. And Michael Pittman Jr. getting franchise tag. They had basically, I think they had until 4:00 to do a long-term deal. So he's going to make over $21.8 million this year on the franchise tag if they can't get a long-term deal. 109 catches, 1152, 10.6 a catch, 4 touchdowns. Pittman has been had a hell of a season. And you got to re-sign the guy, especially he's familiar with the system. A lot of these guys, the franchise tag is basically, you don't let them go anywhere. You can't really test free agency because you keep putting him under the tag. Yeah, I've always played at USC. He has been a hell of a. He's gotten better every single year, which is what you want from your guys. And Bears cornerback Jalen Johnson, he's on a tag, $19.8 million. That's fully guaranteed. Jags Josh Allen, 17.5 sacks last year, $24 million this year. 7th overall pick in 2019 out of Kentucky. 2-time Pro Bowler this past year. 17.5 sacks, an interception, pass defense, 2 forced fumbles, 66 tackles, 17 tackles for loss, 33 quarterback hits, played all 17 games. He was projected at 5 years, $119 million. He's going to have to take $24 million this year. Guys want security. I get it. 45 sacks since he came over to the team. He has been a very good player for them, and you got to lock these guys up. You got to keep them. And Dalton Schultz got 3 years, $36 million, 59 catches, 635, 5 touchdowns. Had a pretty good year for the Texans last year. I'm okay with that. That's the going rate. Brian Burns, tag. They said it's coming, $24 million with the Panthers. And the Fudakasi on the Jags on his 29th birthday. They congratulate him, and then they cut him. He signed in 2022, 3 years, $30 million. They got 48 tackles and a sack and a half in 2 years. They'll save $3.5 million. That's the thing. They give all these guys contracts, and I really would like to go through and see how many guys actually pan out. I would say he wasn't worth the money. I would say Azuma wasn't worth the money. I mean, 27 catches over 2 years is not 15 million guaranteed. I'm sorry. That's a guy who should be at the bottom. Not. And I hope Azuma does some good money with investing that money, because he, hey, I really hope it goes his way, because he's smart with it, because I don't think he's getting another one of those deals. And, the Jets signed all these guys. And I know you got to get a quarterback to throw the ball to him, but it's hard to find. You really got to get to a draft. You got to find tight ends and draft those guys. And Azuma he was good at Cincinnati. Everybody was good with Burrow. Everybody's good with Burrow. You go to a shitty team and, you have a great quarterback. It's going to make everybody look better. You just are. Baker Mayfield said he won't give the Bucs a hometown discount. I wouldn't either. Fuck them. This is the NFL. This is not for long. Make as much money as you can before you get out because they're a hometown discount. Fuck you. I'm not giving you a hometown discount. I'm busting my ass out here. Oh, hometown discount. Yeah. Fuck you. I got to make my money. Hometown discount bullshit. Fuck you. And Jason, over the cap, $85 million in dead money for the Broncos due to Russ. I've heard Tyron Smith linked to the Jets. Hey, listen, podcast, Rob. I would take him at a heartbeat. Now, he has been injury prone, but when he plays, he basically played games last year, didn't even practice. We're talking about practice. Hell yeah. Over what they had on that line, he's better at 50% than some guys at 100%. Hell yeah, I would take him. And I would take a man that's angry that the Cowboy, the team he spent his whole career with, doesn't want him anymore. That's a chip I want on one of my players. Say, fuck you. Oh, you don't want me anymore? Well, fuck you. I'll show you what I can do out here. Yeah, that's what I would say. Yeah, I'm swearing a lot today. I apologize. Broncos, due to Russ, $85 million in dead money will need to be a post-June 1st cut. Now, Andrew Brandt said $39 million. Broncos on the hook. If he takes the minimum, try to get a guaranteed in 2025. Not sure a team, this is Andrew Brandt said, would want to do to the Broncos like that because, the Broncos are this. And, we Broncos made a mistake and we should have given him a minimum. Do we remember that Deshaun Watson got $230 million guaranteed? Do you think other teams really care? Do you think Jamal Adams, you should have given him 2 first-round draft picks for? Every team makes stupid fucking drafts, makes stupid trades. Every single team, for the most part. Hey, Kadarius Toney, the Chiefs got him for nothing, but hey, they traded a draft pick. You knew you were getting a headache, and all he has been is a headache who's hurt all the time. Every team does it. So, yeah, I don't see that, he can get more money in 2025. I don't think he's that same guy. Yeah, good. I hope my swearing's fucking offended you, Podcast Rob. I know you're trying to be funny, but I'm not in a good mood today, and it's not funny. And I'm not blaming you. I'm just telling you that it has not been this. And I'm trying to keep my shit together. I almost destroyed my whole system, but I'm not going to bash everything in the apartment. So I'm like, let's keep it cool. Keep it cool. But yeah, I love this. Oh, what the Broncos did, we're not going to do the same. Of course they are. The Broncos are morons. $242 million for Russell Wilson? Really? You think that was a really good move on your part? You got $85 million in dead money? And we looked up Podcast Rob and I last night looked up McCarthy versus Payton. Payton had a .631 winning percentage regular season. McCarthy had a .618. McCarthy had 10-8 in the playoffs. Payton had 9-8. Payton had 9-10 win seasons in 16 years. I think McCarthy had 7. I'm doing this all. I remember, this is stuff we talked about yesterday. So comparable guys, each one won Super Bowl with great quarterbacks, never got back again. Oh, no, actually, I'm sorry. They did get back. No, right. They got one Super Bowl with, that's all he went to was one. I'm forgetting. Favre went to 2 in a row, beat the Pats, lost to the Broncos. Should have beat the Broncos. Should have won 2 in a row, but they lost that second one to the Broncos. Hey, we talked about that. A lot of it has to do with last night. We had a good conversation. Should have been on the podcast. It wasn't, but we talked about that. It's about the foundation of the team. And a lot of teams don't have a strong foundation. The Chiefs do, from top to bottom. Good owners, good coaching, good staff, all that stuff from top to bottom. A lot of teams don't. Ravens every year compete. I think I thought they should have won yesterday. They didn't win, but I think overall the Ravens are that team. Have a good foundation right there. Giants, I think I'm not sure. I'm not sure. To be determined. To be determined on that front. I'm not 100% sold right now on the Giants because you don't have a quarterback, and that's a huge. A quarterback that is a big problem. Big problem. And the draft, we don't know and I was telling you about the draft with Patricia Traynor and Dane Brugler. It is a crapshoot. Even the guys that are paid to do this, Mel Kiper, how many do they get right? How many do they actually get right? Not that much. And there's always trades, and there's always guys taken that you're like, oh, wait a minute, I'm not 100% sure on him. And there's always like what the fuck were they thinking on that front? Or a guy goes high that shouldn't go that high, or Daniel Jones goes 6th in the draft, and everybody's like, no one had him going even in the first round. Always happens. So I feel like even these people who I respect their opinions, they can't get this right. Nobody can get this right because you're not inside the heads of some of these GMs and Jerry Jones who thinks he knows more than the rest of us. And, look, the Jets picked three, Sanchez, Darnold, and Zach. Well, you can't have 3 fuck-ups like that. Now, yes, the Jets went to 2 AFC Championship games. They should have won a Super Bowl with Fatty, but Rex Ryan didn't get it done, was a very good defensive coordinator, could lead men, but could not get his team in a game they should win. There's not a lot of coaches that can do that really can make the changes and make decisions that can alter the game. Like we talked about yesterday, Kyle Shanahan, I think, would be a better offensive coordinator than a head coach. Spagnuolo, better defensive coordinator than a head coach. Andy Reid, yes, head coach. Bill Belichick, head coach. But, I mean, how many guys, Dable might be a better offensive coordinator than head coach. To be determined. Last season was a shit show. I don't think this season is going to be any good. Robert Saleh is a defensive coordinator. He's not a head coach. Not a head coach at all. And we got all these new coaches. Raheem Morris had a shot before. Is he going to be any better? It depends on the quarterback he had. He doesn't have a quarterback, they're fucked. I still think Russell Wilson is a guy that has something left in him. I don't know how much, but he gives us I think he gives the Jets a better chance than I would take him over Aaron Rodgers. I really would. Because I'm not 100% sure Aaron Rodgers is going to be able to come back from that Achilles. And he's going to be the guy he is. And he'll start complaining and bitching. And that's the kind of guy he is. He'll deflect the blame on himself. And I don't like that. I don't like that at all. So we'll see what happens. We shall see what happens. Yeah, Jamal Adams cut Quandre Diggs in 5 years at 18 interceptions, made the Pro Bowl 20 through 22. Jamal Adams set a record for defensive backs, 9.5 sacks his first year. He hasn't had any since. He's been hurt all the time. They're going to save all this money. Yeah, over $7 million on Adams, over $11 million on Diggs, and then they have Disley, their tight end, who has been with them for 6 years. In 6 years, 127 catches, 1,421 yards, 13 touchdowns. It's a blocker more than he's a catcher. 6 years out of Washington. He's going to bring money in too. What is Disley going to free up? Almost $7 million. So this is, and Diggs had a career best 95 tackles last year, an interception, 18 in 5 years with the team. That's a thing too. I mean, Diggs will get picked up. Adam was a very good talker. Very good talker. Did it lead to anything? I don't think so. Christian Wilkins, 28 years old, 9 sacks, 23 quarterback hits. Tag would have been 22 and change, but they have a lot of money that they have guys they have to pay. And they said he's an every down defensive tackle. He's in the middle of all the stats for defensive tackle, but he's an every down back, and he could be a guy who could haunt, will go on some team and will play very well, still young, in his prime. I'd like to see what he can do on that front. Now, I saw this about Jeremiah Smith, on 3, number 1 recruit, 2024, wide receiver, and Michael Thomas, the former Ohio State wide receiver, who had some really good years with the Saints and got hurt and kind of disappeared. He said the next great one, 100%. They say that he is actually bigger now than when Marvin Harrison Jr. entered his freshman year at Ohio State. That's kind of scary because they do develop wide receivers. Garrett Wilson, Thomas, the Saints wide receiver. Who's the Saints wide receiver? He had, Garrett Wilson. Good God. And Jackson Smith-Njigba had some phenomenal catches by the end of the season. But what's the Saints wide receiver? I see his face. Olave. Chris Olave. Jesus. Olave has been a very, 2 years. Listen, 72 for 1,042, 14 and a half, four touchdown catches in 22. Last year, 87, 11, 23, 12.95 touchdowns. I would say 159 catches, 2165, 9 touchdowns in his first 2 years, 2 1,000-yard seasons. I would say that's a good pickup. Garrett Wilson with shitty-ass quarterback play, 1,000 yards every season. Though that's another guy. Ohio State produces, the dump produces wide receivers. And if this kid, Jeremiah Smith, they say is already coming in, and he's larger than Marvin Harrison Jr., who I think is going to be phenomenal in the pros. Phenomenal. He makes it look effortless when he's out there. You know, I mean, good God. I'm very interested to see what he can do. Thank you. Thank you, Hoyer Fawcett, for that little tidbit. Knicks, Atlanta tonight, no Trae Young, but Shake Milton, who hasn't played since February 22nd, was bought out by the Pistons, got waived. Nobody picked him up. 8 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, 48 from the field, 38 from 3, available tonight, but hasn't played since February 22nd. So Tibbs, they said, will probably play him 47 minutes tonight. They are 36 and 25. Atlanta is 26 and 34. And Ian Begley says that both Randall and OG on track to return, just a matter of when, hopefully by the end of the month. We shall see on that front. Time will tell. Yeah, he's shined. I know, Rob. He shined. You still need Brunson. I'm sorry. You still need Brunson. The thing is, it doesn't matter. You're playing a shitty Atlanta team who is not good at all. They're not good. No. And I'm thinking that Ben Simmons not playing again with a nerve impingement tonight. Maxey's out for the Sixers, which does not bode well for them, but they're still playing. Yes, he was impressive the other night versus Garland. Impressive. What do you have, 16 points? Played the whole game? Okay. All right. I mean, yes, but the thing is with all athletes, I need to see it on a night-by-night basis. I don't want to have it one night and then he disappears the next. I want consistency with my athletes. I do. That's what they're there. I need to see consistency. Now he's getting another start tonight. Show up, come to play, and beat. They should put the Hawks out of their misery by halftime, and then put in this, let guys rest, which he doesn't do. Just beat the shit out of them and get it done by the end of the first half. Yeah, and the Nets lost to a crappy Grizzly team, 106-102. They're 24 and 37. The Grizz are 21 and 41. Bernard at 25. Cam Johnson at 18. Claxton at 21. Bridges 14. Cam Thomas wasn't playing. I mean, that was a bad loss last night. And the last 20, 30 seconds went on forever. Forever. Yeah, and I went to Baylor was getting killed by Texas in the second half. And then Texas went cold. They called a flagrant foul for like a chard. I don't know. He was like a pick. And I got to be honest with you. I didn't think it was yep. And Baylor ended up beating them by 8, outscored them by 16 in the second half after being outscored 8 in the first half. Baylor improved to 22 and 8, Texas 19-11. I think they're both going to make the tournament, but we'll see what happens on that front. Robert Little, guy I follow on Twitter, says that the WNBA should have games on Christmas Day to go in with the NBA, have doubleheaders where you have cheaper tickets. They should have the WNBA the same time as the NBA, where they can build off that. I just feel like that's a lot. College basketball, WNBA, women's college basketball. I think they're all just going to be, it's just too much on top of each other, but they'll have a bigger market, I guess. Doubleheaders start the season earlier because they play over the summer. I'm not 100%. I just think it's too much. And you got football going on too. I just think they'll get eaten alive. I don't care if you have the games for Christmas. Now football's on Christmas and all that stuff. I don't know if I don't think what they're doing is working. I think if anything, well, then what do? You do it over the summer and the fall, but then women want to go play overseas. But Russia's not kind of dried up. Israel's dried up for basketball overseas. So you're not making those are two places that women go play overseas. I don't know. I mean, it's something to talk about, but I just think there's so much out there. I think you're oversaturating the market on that front. That's just me. But yeah, I mean, it's a good take. I just don't know if it's a take that they can actually do it. And that's a lot to divvy up. Yeah, that's a lot to. Then they're right on top of each other. NBA doubleheader. I think. Would you want to see a WNBA and an NBA game at the same time? I think you bring more kids. Especially WNBA games. I'm hoping Caitlin Clark. Fox had their highest rating since 1999. 25 years since UConn played Connecticut. They had over 3 million. They outdrew the Golden State Boston game and finished behind NASCAR in Vegas. Had the highest ratings, but they had peaked at over 4 million viewers for the Ohio State Iowa game. Caitlin Clark breaking the record of Pistol Pete. There is a market. I mean, a lot of people watching now. Who's going to step up? Who's going to be the person next year? I think Juju Watkins, but there's always players coming in. I mean, but you haven't. Caitlin Clark has really changed. I mean, and an Angel Reese in the championship game. There were a lot of over 10 million people watching. That's impressive. That is impressive. I'm excited to see what's going to happen in the WNBA. They're going to knock her around. They're probably salivated for to get in there, and they're going to knock her around. You're playing with the women now. You're playing for paychecks. These women are playing for their meals. A little different. College is a little different. I mean, it's a little very cutthroat. And there's only 12 teams, 144 players. Very cutthroat in the WNBA. Got to get more teams. We'll see what happens on that front. And most points per game, fewer than 10 shots. Aaron Gordon averaging 14. Jalen Duren from Pistons, 13.9. Rudy Gobert, 13.8. And Denny Avdia from the Wiz, 13.7. So that's efficient. Very efficient. And how about Braden Podzimski, 19th pick out of Santa Clara for Golden State, averaging 9.7, 5.8 from three, from rebounds and 3.9 assists, 44 steals, and he's averaging 0.62 charges per game, which is better than over 15 NBA. He is taking more charges than 15 NBA teams right now. And actually, he's charges per game 0.62. You know who's second? Jalen Brunson, 0.46. Jalen Brunson comes to play every goddamn day. And most wins in NBA history. Kareem has 1,074. Parrish has 1,014. Duncan 1,001. And LeBron is 954. So he is 47 behind. He's got to get 48 to beat Duncan. He needs to go on a run, because I don't know if he's going to be a 60-win team unless he comes to the Knicks. And then Rob, when they go 75-7, goes crazy. Yeah, I can't wait to see, every night. I mean, I don't know how he does it. Like, he's like, every game. I'm like, dude, it's too much. It's too much for me. I can't get myself like every single game. I'm thinking, when are these guys coming back? Can they stay within the top 4 seeds until everybody's back healthy? That's what I'm looking at. So it's just one game at a time. Guys trying to fill in and hoping for the best, hoping that Brunson can be back within a week. You just don't. I mean, knee contusion, you don't know. I mean, Spider's going to miss in 3 games. He got some platelets into his knees. So I guess we're going to see what happens on that front. DeMar DeRozan outscored the Kings 19-18 in the fourth. They beat the Kings 113-109. They're 29-32. Kings are 34-26. They're one loss ahead of the Mavs. DeRozan had 33. Kobe White, 37, 5 rebounds, 7 assists. Fox had 20 points, 10 assists. And Sabonis failed out, but he had 18 points, 21 rebounds. The Bulls are 3-1 this season when White and DeRozan each score 30+, and that's the second time this happened this year against the Kings. Kings have been up and down, man. It's like, every time last year I thought they built off last year. I mean, they got Sabonis, they got Fox. They've had some bad losses. I mean, they got Fox, and who's the guy off the bench? Monk. So they got some guys on the team. It just, I was talking to James about that. He said they're trying to play the same kind of game as Golden State without the talent of Golden State. I mean, they have talent, but in that conference, I mean, shoot a lot of threes. They got some D, but they've lost some bad games this year. You got to beat. Bulls are not a good team. Should be beating the Bulls. Thank you, Kevin Anderson, for that front. Yeah. And what else? Oh, LeBron, 19 points, 11 rebounds, 8 assists. And in less than 30 minutes, they blew out OKC. And that's what they're talking about. OKC at 42-19 should be beating the Lakers. And bad loss. They were down by 30, I think 25-30. They lost by 12, but it was never close. SGA had 20. Davis had 24 and 12. Russell had 26. The Lakers are 34 and 29. OKC is 42 and 19. But OKC, yeah. What's his name? Mark Daniel? Daniel? Not a, I mean, he's got a young team. I almost feel like you get that guy and then you bring in someone to take it to the next, like, you brought in with the Bulls, you brought in Phil Jackson, and you had to make a change. And who was the coach before? And I'm getting, he was a good Bulls head coach before Jackson. Bulls head coach. I see his face. Coach before. God damn it. For Phil. Doug Collins. And you had Mark Jackson, then you brought in Kerr. Like you had Buck Showalter, you brought in Torrey. You have to, sometimes there's a guy who gets you to a certain point and you need someone to get you over the hump. And I'm not sure if OKC's head coach is that answer. I feel like maybe they got to bring in somebody to get them over the hump, but we shall see. Yeah, I mean, and they're so young, and I mean, they're having a very good season, but is it going to translate to postseason success? And I don't know. Mark Daniels. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, that's a game. That's what someone said yesterday. It was like, that's the thing I'm worried about. That they're losing to the Lakers, a team they shouldn't be losing to. I guess we're going to see what happens going forward. Jordan Clarkson, 30-point game for the Jazz off the bench. Past Thurl Bailey at an NC State. I used to love Thurl Bailey. Good player. And he the first player to have 38 points, 10 rebounds, 7 assists without starting. Fantastic stat. I know that's going to keep me going for a couple months. Bucks beat the Clips last night. They're 6-0 since the All-Star break. 113-106 over the Clippers. They're 41-21. Clippers fell to 39-22. Georgia 29. Harden at 29 for the Clippers. Lillard had 41. Giannis tried to test out his injured Achilles. That's Achilles, man. Always the Achilles. And he had to sit out the game, but it didn't matter because Lillard had 41 and Portis 28 points, 16 rebounds. What did I see? Portis has 10 double-doubles off the bench. The other players combined have 6. Portis is a guy that was a good guy. That's a glue guy. That's a guy you bring in. That's a good guy off the bench. And if it's a step in, he steps in. Lillard can still play. So we'll see what happens on that front. UNC 23-6 hosts the 12-17 Notre Dame. They better fucking blow them out. They better fucking blow them out. They got Duke on Saturday. I need a wire-to-wire blowout today because Baycott in year 9 makes me nervous because he looks so freaking. They throw the ball into him in the post and he's dropping balls and he doesn't look. This is a guy who's been playing forever with UNC, dude. I'm nervous about him. I really am. I'm really nervous about him. NCAA is thinking about going to 72-76. Really? I mean, 68. They really. I mean, you need those 8 bubble teams. These are called bubble teams. They're teams who shouldn't be in the first place. So that means you're going to put in a 15-15 team. That's why when you keep adding teams to the playoffs, you put shit at the bottom that doesn't deserve to be in. And this is what I feel. You can't keep expanding it. Really? I mean, who you want to make it? It should be a selective group. It shouldn't be, hey, let a 15 and 15. That is an NCAA basketball team. I'm sorry. Now, if that means that you put a team in that dominated a conference but lost a conference tournament, I'm okay with that. But not to put in a freaking Big Ten team that was 15 and 15. That's bullshit. But if you're going to take a smaller conference, a team that dominated and had some good wins but had a bad day in the conference, that really sucks. The number 1 seed in the conference tournament has dominates all season and has a bad day in the conference tournament when they dominated the regular season. That should count for something. I'm sorry. And then you lose them, and then you're out, and that's it. Then they go play in the NIT. Bullshit. I don't like that at all. So I feel if you're putting in teams that are good teams that got popped out, but not to put in one of the big conferences, a team that was freaking 7-11 in the conference. That to me, if you're under 500 in your conference, I don't care how many wins you have, you're not in the tournament. In my opinion, you're not in. I don't want mediocrity. I want good teams in the tournament, not shit. Shit float, right? Shit floats? Yeah, shit floats. I don't like that. And Dartmouth voted to join the local union. But guys, you know what? Your employees, whatever you want to do, go for it. You know what? You should get paid anyway. You're bringing money to the university. It's a full-time job, as I said. It's not a job you do part-time. Even D3, whatever. That is full-time. I talked to guys who played. Bill's son, Thomas, plays Division III soccer. It is a lot of time. It is a lot of time for a kid. A lot of time. It's a lot of effort, everything. So get your money. Get your money. And Senga should start. That's what they're saying. There's a chance he'll start. He has a moderate strain to his right shoulder. Don't expect him at start of the year. They open March 28th versus the Brewers at Citi Field. It should be fucking freezing. Should be goddamn freezing out. Freezing. Yeah. Should be chilly. Yes. And Messi, a napkin he signed as a 13-year-old. 13-year-old Barca selling signing contract, I guess. Bidding starts at $380,000. So something that Messi signed at 13 is going for $380,000 to start. Orioles are 10-2 in spring training. That means jack shit. Paul Skeens, the number 1 pick out of LSU for the Pirates last year, starting in the minors. They had a viral video of him throwing a fastball. That was a pop. That was a pop. And he's dating Olivia Dunn, the gymnast. Very nice. Acuna, knee okay, is going to be okay for opening day. Talked about Iowa versus Ohio State. Average 3.39, peaked at 4.4. Most watched on Fox, I said, since 1999. UConn, Tennessee, 3.88 million. I mean, it's all good, man. Previous high this year was Iowa versus Ohio State on NBC, about 1.86 million. So they almost doubled it. Very impressive. Very impressive. Yeah, I was all right, man. And yeah, talked about Jordan Clarkson, JJ McCarthy. We'll see where he goes. Lucas Giolito likely is a partially torn UCL and flexor strain. Thanks for this one, podcast, Rob. Could miss 2020. What do you mean could miss? I would say he's done. Signed a 2-year deal for $38 million, could go up to $58 million. So they're paying him and Chris Sale $36 million a year, and they might not even play one game this year. Yeah, that's kind of crazy, right? And yeah, LeBron James I talked about. Yeah, the 4th most wins, league history. Congrats for you. Very happy about that. T-Wolves beat the Blazers. Gobert at 25.17 rebounds. Good for him. Like the Blazers keep winning. Gobert, go. This is great. The Phillies AAA team is hiring a bullpen catcher on Indeed. So go to Indeed and you can become a catcher for the Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs in Allentown, PA. Serve as a catcher for the pregame and in-game bullpen sessions during home games. Warm up pitchers during games when needed. Work closely with the coaching staff in daily field schedules and report times. Maintain a positive professional demeanor at all times while interacting with players, coaches, and staff. Adhere to all team policies and procedures, as well as all league regulations. College baseball experience preferred. Must have baseball playing experience at a level beyond high school baseball. That knocks me out. Must be local to the greater Allentown area. No housing or mileage reimbursement. So I got friends in Allentown. I could go stay with Pat and Sue, and maybe I was gonna suggest Josh to go for it. He is high school baseball, but he's got 2 kids. It's kind of hard for him. I mean, the commute to Allentown would kill him, but maybe. LeBron James and Nike, 40, 10, and 10. Beautiful, right? Yeah, but beautiful. Just beautiful. That's first to reach 10,000 assists and 10,000 rebounds, 40,000 points. The cost of a Formula One car, geez Louise, $135 million building and developing their cars. 35,000 tires per race, gearbox system 350,000, driver's halo 17,000, steering wheel 50K, carbon fire chassis is 700,000, turbocharged engine 10.5 million, and front and rear wings 250,000. Josh, I know you would love to. You know what? Bring the kids down, move to Allentown, get it done. Yeah, dude, I say you do it. I think a good move. Give up your job, a steady job, pension, all that stuff, to do a bullpen catcher. Yeah, I mean, listen, if I was 20 years old, and if I played catcher and played baseball beyond like 6th, 7th grade, sure, I'd go for it. Just not my. But if you go on Indeed, go for it. That's what I say. Go for it. Active points leaders. LeBron's only almost 12,000 ahead of Durant, then Harden, then Westbrook, Curry, DeMar DeRozan, Chris Paul, and Damian Lillard. So LeBron's 1, Durant's 11, Harden's 24th, Westbrook is 29th, Curry's 36th, DeRozan 40th, Chris Paul 42nd, and Lillard 50th. And the youngest out of the bunch is Lillard. He's only 33. So 5 more years? Why not? Go for it. And Bronny James isn't going to reveal his decision until after the season. Yeah, we'll wait. Well, they're not making any tournaments. So I would say that would be that. Highest total NFL attendance. Dallas, 1.38 million. Jets, 1.29. Giants, 1.26. Green Bay, LA, Denver, Philly Eagles. Of course it's Philly. And KC, 1.22. And T-Wolves are now 39 against Western Conference teams, NBA best. Good for them. Good for them. Boston, they beat Sunday they beat Golden State by 52. Third 50-win game of the season, which is the most by any team in NBA history. That's unbelievable. Milwaukee had 2 in 78-79, and Sacramento had 2 in 92-93. It's pretty awesome. Most hat tricks this season. The Maple Leafs have 9. Matthews has 6. The Wild as a team have 6, and Vancouver as a team has 6. So 6 of the 9 hat tricks this year are by Austin Matthews, and he has as many as 2 teams and 53 goals. He hasn't done much the last few games. I saw the top 25. South Carolina, Stanford, Iowa. Stanford up 2, Iowa up 2. The dump fell. Ohio State fell 2-4. Then USC is 5. Texas fell from 3 to 6. You see what else? Va-Tech fell from 5 to 11. Notre Dame went from 17 to 14. Let me see what else. Colorado went from 13. Colorado was a top 3 team. Now they're 18. Having a couple losses in a row. And Utah went from 18 to 22nd. And Fairfield of the MAC is 26-1. They're in their first top 25. See, that's what I'm saying. A team like Fairfield, if they don't win the conference tournament, they should be in. Now, Rob is okay with the dancers at the Mets dance crew. I think baseball and dance crew just don't go together. They just don't. But it's cute. It's cute. I was like, all right, dude. I'll give it to you. Okay. Hey, you know what? Let's see what happens with the dance crew. I just think it's hilarious, a dance crew. Now they do have them. They have dancers at the Golden Knights games. So, and they're in the stands, but I feel like it's Vegas, and that's Vegas should have that stuff. So I'm okay with it. I'm amenable to it. I'm okay with it. That's what I'm saying. Supposedly they want to bring Toronto sports mogul Larry Tannenbaum is pursuing a WNBA expansion franchise in Canada, which would be cool. Yeah, Texas, 8 straight losses. Well, now 9 straight losses at Baylor. Baylor, last time being swept by Texas was 2014. They trailed by 14, and they blew them out the second half. So didn't happen last night. Yeah, Bobby Portis, 10 double-doubles off the bench. Nobody else has more than 6. Portis is amazing. Tracker back for season 2. We watched some of it. It was okay. It wasn't all that. But, they're looking for shit to put on television. So what are you going to do? Yeah, but I will say that we like Will Trent. Will Trent, really good. And if you have Apple TV, when Argyle comes on, watch it. Tell me what you think. Arch Manning will not opt into EA Sports College Football 25 per Anwar Richardson. I'm told Arch is focused on playing football on the field. That's where you should be. Your next Giants or Jets quarterback, Arch Manning. Yeah, and I told I want Alexia George on a future podcast. Bears traded. Will send offensive lineman from the Bills, Ryan Bates, to the Ryan Master Bates. I just say it. It was out there. It was hanging. It was low hanging fruit for a 5th round pick in the 2024 draft. So Chicago gets a new offensive lineman. That was the first trade. Good luck with that. Miss anything else? I don't think so. Oh, yeah. I said this to everybody. Chase Daniels said this would send shockwaves. Really? Pro Football Talk. We were picking up very credible indications that Kirk Cousins is planning a potential move of his family from Minnesota to Atlanta. Shockwaves. Shockwaves. Now, yesterday, Weber State has Dylan Jones averaging 21 points, 10 rebounds. He is one of 3 players in college averaging 20-plus points, 10-plus rebounds. Western Carolina, Vontarius Woolbright, 21 and 12, and Zach Edey, 24 and 11 for Purdue. Only 3 guys. And on top of it, Dylan is only player in NCAA leading a conference in points per game, rebounds, and assists per games. Right now, he is a number 31 draft prospect by ESPN's Gavani and Wu, number 9 small forward. I mean, and you know who went to Weber State? Was Damian Lillard. Yes, he did. Let's Talk Knicks said, got lost in the shovel, but Precious Achua, who was the throw-in with OG, he has been with the Knicks, 8.7 points per game, 7.5 rebounds, 1.2 blocks, from a throw-in trade piece to one of the most necessary. That is a true statement there. Rob makes a joke about it. He says, well, we got OG with him, but Precious, who I didn't, that's what I heard. He was a throw-in, has stepped up to the plate and dominated. Like Dante. Dante, was with Warriors, and Curry spoke highly of him, and he can shoot, always could shoot. Now he's getting the chance. and putting it worked all summer, and it is paid off. And that's all you ask for. That's all you can ask for. Now, I saw Company Jace put this up. At 28, Mahomes has already won 3 Super Bowls, 3 Super Bowl MVPs, and 2 NFL MVPs. To put Wayne Gretzky's dominance into perspective, by that same age, he won 4 Stanley Cups, 2 Conn Smythe trophies. That's the playoff MVP, and 9 Hart trophies, 9 NHL MVPs, 9 at 28, 9. Thank you, ESPN and Sports Center. So let's give credit where credit is due. The man can play. Gretzky is a GOAT. Goat. The GOAT. The man, the myth, the legend. Yeah, unbelievable. Yeah, Celtics have an SRS of 11.45, which according to StatHead is the 4th highest ever in NBA history. Got to keep it up 20 more games. SRS NBA. So SRS, let's look up that because SRS NBA. Okay. That is simple rating system, a rating that takes into account average point differential and strength of schedule. The rating is denominated in points above, below average, where 0 is average. So they are having a good season. And one thing they said, one way I wouldn't buy them winning a title is if they were coached by Doc Rivers or Milwaukee. So that's kind of a diss. And what Jamel Hill says that she's comparing Caitlin Clark last year to the Michigan State Indiana State national title game, which catapulted college basketball and became the rivalry that got the NBA off tape delay. Well, maybe this is the thing. Caitlin Clark will get WNBA to a different stratosphere. I don't disagree. Yeah, Stephen A. Smith compared Clark's story to that of Bird Magic 79. So, hey, you know what? All right. I'm okay with it. Yeah, NBA we're talking March Madness 96 is too much. Too much. And how about this? They're talking about wide receivers, Calvin Ridley is not in Tyreek Hill, Devontae Adams, Cooper Kupp, A.J. Brown, Stephon Diggs, DK Metcalf. I don't think he's that kind of guy. That's me. I just don't see it. And I love this from Kelsey. I won't forget Nick Foles having the game of his life on the biggest stage possible, having the biggest dick on the team, going up to Doug Peterson and asking for the Philly special, and Doug having the biggest balls in the stadium to say, yeah, let's do it. That's why Kelsey's got to be on TV. That's why. That's the thing. And he talked about how he met his wife, which he didn't bring up. He met her on Tinder, but he walked in. She walked in. He said it was love at first sight. They got 3 girls together. She was crying. He said, I've had my best year since I met her in 2014. That's what you got to talk about, man. Listen, Michigan has made me a much better person. A much better person. She is my back. I have her back. We love each other very much. She's going to France on Friday for 10 days. I want her to have a good time. She works her ass off. She comes home. I did laundry today. I cooked some stuff. Got some stuff done. I don't want her coming home at night and have to worry about this shit. She works hard enough. I was like, all right. I said, I don't want you to eat eggs tonight. Eat some food. Let's get it done. Sweetie pie. I like calling you sweetie pie. My little hoochie, my little coochie. My schmoopy. Oh, my schmoopy. That was in the sign. Today they had on the Seinfeld. One of my favorites. Which one was it? I'm trying to remember. Oh, shit. Which one was it? God damn it. Oh my God. They had Serenity Now. They had the one where Kramerica, he had the assistant Kramer. And today's was, shit, I'm blanking on it. I came in the middle, the first couple minutes. Oh, George is upset his parents are avoiding him. So he decides he's going to start dating his cousin to get them upset. So he goes, I think we should date. She goes, well, you think about it. She goes, let's do it. Let's be bad, George. Let's be real bad. And she takes her leg and puts it in between his crotch. He's like, oh. And he introduces him. He is he's the summer. There's a summer George and the winter George. The summer me. He goes the winter me. And whenever he bought George, he got a Jerry. The summer George got Jerry a van that when it backed up, a beep beep beep. So he's trying to sell it, and Kramer offers him a wife beater that Anthony Quinn was wearing when he took off when he was working out. He was going to trade. Kramer wanted to trade the van for a Anthony Quinn Ward sweaty wife beater, or guinea tea is what I used to call it. It's a wife beater. It's a wife beater. And so when George introduces his cousin, he goes, "This is my cousin," and she goes, "Girlfriend." And Jerry goes, "All right." Great episode. Great episode. So that was on. I taped that. I was like, oh, good stuff. Yeah, Justin Madbike, if he gets the franchise tag, which is 4 p.m. was the closing today, 22.1. Now there is more salary. They had operating with roughly 13 million. They're gonna have to restructure some contracts. Nearly 24 players: Patrick Quinn, Clowney, Kyle Van Noy, Kevin Zeitler, John Simpson at safety, Geno Stone are all want to retain their free agents. I mean, I listen. He eclipsed his previous high of 5.5 sacks, ranked 9th overall in the NFL. He had 13 quarterback pressures, half a sack in 2 postseason games, 13 sacks in the regular season. Yeah, he's a good player, man. Madubuike can play, but they're hoping he can be a younger version of Chris Jones. Let's see if that happens. We don't know. And Ilya Topuria will present his belt to 55,000 Georgians when he attends Georgia's Euro 2024 playoff match against Luxembourg on March 21st. Thank you, Hart Georges One. MMA Orbit and MMA. Yeah, I thought, all right. Yeah, Georgians go crazy for that stuff. The pink is pretty dope. What is Hellman talking about here? Pink. Yeah, I guess guys don't like Bart Scott. Yeah. I have my kids. Fuck them kids. Michael Jordan. Yeah. Colin is hilarious. Victor is here and he wants to, and I don't know how patient he's going to be with the Spurs. I don't think he wants to sit here at the bottom of the lottery standings. I don't think he has. What are you talking about? He's in his first goddamn year. What? They're not going to trade him. What's the matter? He's a rookie? Are you kidding me? You're a rookie. A TMKS burner said Perk is so ridiculous. Perkins he's talking about. The Spurs have to cater a rookie and rush to get pieces around him. This just demonstrates what the NBA is not. Don't disagree. It's a player-driven league. Wemby can demand a trade, and people will be fine with it because the Spurs didn't get good players around him. They sucked. That happens to everybody. Jordan, everybody. They all sucked when they first came to the league. I mean, Robinson came in. They were terrible. And then he got Duncan. I mean, they changed it all around. Yeah. Yeah. He's 19. Yeah, I agree. Wants every good player on like 4 teams. Yeah, come on. Let's just stop. Yeah. Come on, ridiculous. Ridiculous. Those are some. What are these jerseys? Oh, these are pickleball jerseys? Jeez Louise. Those are really pink, dude. Whew. Yeah, those are pink. All right, well, hey, to each their own. Oh, okay. All right, guys, I got to get to some trivia questions. All right, last show's trivia question was, how many commissioners has there been in the NBA? 5. You had Stern, Larry O'Brien, J. Walter Kennedy, Maurice Podoloff, and now Adam Silver. 5 of them. Can you tell me today's trivia question? The first. Who was the first professional baseball team ever? The first professional baseball team. Can you tell me who the first professional baseball team is? So, Josh, thank you for today. Rob, I know you got the kids, everybody. Instagram was very quiet today. I wasn't going to do a show, but hey, look, bam, I got to do a show. So, guys, have a great day. Peace out. I got to split. All right. Talk to you later. Adios.